Wouldn't it make sense for WB to be just a little bit panicky over this trailer? I guess we'll have to wait to mid-December to see what this trailer has to offer. And if I know James Gunn, he is writing a tweet as we speak to debunk this rumor, because that's pretty much what he does.
5 minutes later.
This guy just can't help himself. Let's discuss.
I watch so you don't have to.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
You know what's interesting to me? There were two kinds of people who responded to my previous video about the supposed behind-the-scenes Superman trailer drama. There was one group of people who are pretty much right where I'm at on the whole subject, completely disconnected or even indifferent about the future of DC on film thanks to all of the dysfunction. And then there's the other side who responded to me in a way that I've come to expect. It was a lot of, give it a chance, wait for the trailer, stop spreading negativity, grifting, clickbait, etc., etc. Here's the reality of the situation for people who seem to have a problem with other people reacting to every piece of information that comes out about this film. If there wasn't constant reveals, leaks, and announcements in regards to this movie, then we wouldn't have anything to react to, and we would just wait for the trailer. But that's not what's happening. Does anyone recall a movie ever, or a director like this, who gives us something almost daily to react to? Did Christopher Nolan give us constant updates and clarify and deny rumors during the production of Oppenheimer or any of his other films?
Absolutely not.
The answer is no, and that's because Christopher Nolan, when he's making a movie, is focused on the filmmaking process. Christopher Nolan is busy making movies that speak for themselves. And that's kind of the difference between James Gunn and pretty much everyone else in Hollywood. I can't recall another director who does this. So the question is why? Did he make it his personal mission in life to combat all of the misinformation about his films? Does he feel insecure about his work to the point where he constantly needs to defend it? I would have no problem if James Gunn popped up on social media once in a while and shot down some bullshit rumor from a bullshit scooper. And make no mistake about it, there are a lot of full of scoopers. The problem with James Gunn is that he is obsessed with doing this daily. And that just gives people like myself more things to talk about.
That makes sense.
And for those of you who responded to my previous video by saying that James Gunn already debunked this and that I don't know what I'm talking about, let's get this straight right now. I didn't start this rumor. A supposed industry insider did. Again, I'm simply reacting to the information that's being given to me. All I've said from the beginning is that this trailer and this movie better be something life-changing. And I've also said that I've seen nothing up until this point that gives me the impression that it will be. Also, let's not act like James Gunn debunking things hasn't become the Hollywood equivalent of The Boy Who Cried Wolf. This man will literally debunk something one day and then say something the next day that completely contradicts it. As I said many times before, he needs to take a step back from social media because every time he tries to explain something, he just makes it worse.
Now shut the f*** up and let me do my job!
Believe me, I know better than anyone that there is no benefit to constantly having to explain yourself. Because people are going to think what they want to think and see what they want to see regardless. So to me, James Gunn's best course of action is to keep his head down, keep working, and hopefully deliver something that will prove all of his naysayers wrong. But with every passing day, it is clear to me now more than ever that he is pretty much incapable of doing that. In regards to the Superman trailer rumor or report, James Gunn had this to say. When he says studio, that's solely me. As the only studio involved in cutting or anything to do with the trailer is DC Studios, i.e. me and Peter. This is the exact same rigorous process I've gone through cutting every Guardians trailer, pushing the marketing folks as hard as I can, cutting and recutting until I think we have something worthy of the film itself. All that said, my notes are a lot more specific than make it better.
Something very familiar about all this.
So basically what he's saying is, the report is sort of true, they just had some of the details mixed up. According to James, this movie and this universe starts and stops with him. He is the sole creatively demanding entity in this situation. My issue with that, and this is a big reason why I didn't care for him getting this job in the first place, is I've never really been a fan of his creative vision. In fact, I always found his storytelling methods to be quite simplistic and juvenile. Now, I understand that some people don't see it that way, and that's fine. That part of this situation is subjective. But the reality of the situation is, the people who support James Gunn have probably always supported James Gunn. They are probably holdovers from the MCU. And what James Gunn needs to do if his DCU is going to be successful is appeal to the people who think he is nothing more than a one-trick pony.
It's true.
I saw a little bit different side of James Gunn in Guardians 3, and if you go back and listen to my review of that movie, I actually praised him for that. And the truth is that I need to see more of that James Gunn in the Superman movie if there's any chance of me enjoying it. But I'm not going to just assume he's going to be able to do that and give him the benefit of the doubt because he hasn't earned it yet from my perspective. You cannot just explain people's legit concerns away by simply calling them a hater, because that is a first-class ticket to this movie not being successful. So that's why him having full creative control is not as appealing to me as it is to some people. And if he does, in fact, have full creative control, like he suggests, he has an honor that almost no director has been given at WB for a very long time.
Go f*** another fish, asshole!
So I say again, he better make the most of it, because an opportunity like this will not come along again if the DCU fails. As far as him saying that his notes on the trailer were a lot more specific than him saying make it better. Do we really need to go into how James Gunn saying he's giving notes on something isn't the shining endorsement or encouraging detail that he thinks it is? Remember, he gave notes on some of DC's biggest and most recent flops when he became the head of DC on film. Granted, with films like The Flash, they were probably already dumpster fires before he got there, but from the outside looking in, his notes didn't do jack shit to improve that film or any of the other films for that matter. Wasn't it his idea, reportedly, to bring back George Clooney's Bruce Wayne in that movie? That is precisely why that moment in particular felt so tacked on and random. James Gunn did it because he thought it would be funny to include the worst cinematic Batman in one of the worst DC movies in recent memory.
This is whack! I can't get jiggy with this shit!
Now, I understand that Superman is his movie, so it's a little bit different situation, and we are talking about a trailer. But again, there's just been this series of things that have happened since he's taken over DC, and even before that, that has made certain people not be able to trust him. And I do think that some of those concerns are justified. Some people do blindly hate, but other people rightfully criticize when the universe being pitched to us doesn't feel like it's going to be living up to our standards.
Y'all be cool. Nah.